Hello, we are Double Helix. This is Jung Kim. I'm Janice McCoy, and today we are reviewing Mort by Robert Repino.
Right, so let's tell you what this story is about. The book starts out with Mort, the house cat, reminiscing about how he came to achieve sentience. The book travels on, but as it goes along, he realizes that one of his companions from when he was a regular house cat, Sheba, is somebody he'd like to see again. So the book starts off with him looking for Sheba. But the world has changed, and the reason why he has achieved sentience, it's a very sinister reason. And as the book carries on, we find out what's behind this bizarre phenomenon.
Okay, so did it work for us? It surprised us.
It did. It took us a lot by surprise, I think. This was not what we expected at all.
When you tell someone there's a sci-fi book about a cat that gains sentience, you might start thinking Watership Down. You might start thinking, I never read it, but the fantasy series Redwall with the animals that walk and talk. And that's not where we are in this book.
No, the closest analogy I came up with was Animal Farm.
Yes, which is mentioned in the book, Animal Farm. So
right. But I even considered some of the 80s Japanese anime, which had a lot of anthropomorphized animals in it. But that's not really what this book is about, though.
No, and the closest I came up with was the graphic novel Mouse, which tells the story of the Holocaust using mice as Jews and cats as Germans. And I think that begins to convey some of the darkness and brutality of this story.
Right. We should actually point out the book really doesn't shy away from very graphic and visceral violence.
Mm-hmm. Dark.
It starts off with the puppies.
Yes. Okay, so we'll give a minor plot point away just to really convey the tone of the book, and that is that early on there are some puppies who are murdered. Drowned.
Yep. So
for no really good reason.
No, but that's the thing. This book is violent. It's action packed. The plot moves ahead really very fast. But
it's a war story.
It's a war story. At the end of it, it is. It's got lots of very tense battle scenes in it. Although we should say also that there's lots of themes in this book that are covered. It's not just scene by scene of battle. Despite the fact that it's covering a 10-year war. It's also about, it's a meditation on, what is religion, what is social hierarchy, what is humankind's relationship to nature like, and obviously the answer is not very flattering.
No, not at all. It's a critique. It's very much a critique of a lot of aspects of human society.
Yes.
Which is interesting because the humans are mostly off screen. Like, you're mostly focusing on animals.
That's right. You start off with Mort's family. His owner family, when he was a regular house cat. But as to what happens later on, they kind of fade off, really.
They're still important. I mean, humanity is still important, but most of what you get is from Mort's point of view and from the other animals.
Yeah, and how they react to the fact that they now have this ability to understand and be sentient and be aware, and what they're going to do with it, you know? We actually talked about this. It's about a revolution. So you've overthrown the old social order. Now what? So what do you do next? What's the new social order? Doesn't it end up being the same?
Yeah. So the question of does it work is a rather vexed one, and I think it's best answered by thinking about audience. If you are a reader who really values creativity and something brand new, and you're tired of reading pandemic novels, or alien invasion novels, or space exploration novels, and you really want something different and new and thoughtful and exciting.
Not another set of teenagers that apparently have no parents who will be off to save the world somehow because they're the chosen group.
Right. It's different than most anything we've read. I mean, we gave you some of our attempts to find parallels, and we struggled. So if you're that kind of reader, this book is for you. It is just so different. I really did appreciate that about it.
Yes, it's original.
If you're someone who really likes to read about heroic animals, and you have enjoyed things like Watership Down in the past, and I believe, I don't know much about it, but that Redwall series, it may sound like at first this is a novel for you, but I think it's not.
I would agree with that because it's not really about that kind of heroism.
No. I mean, there is heroism, but it's more of a gritty, realistic military heroism.
Exactly. It's a militaristic sci-fi, actually.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about cuddly animals at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, and I feel like that's a problem that this book is going to have in marketing, is that it's going to attract the wrong kind of reader and repel just the right kind of reader. And it's going to hurt. It might hurt it in the end.
Yeah, so if you can look through beyond, the fact that it's a talking cat that's the main, hero of the book, I think you might find some really interesting ideas and discussions in it.
Yeah.